Hey everybody, this is Kyle from Time to Back Out Productions here reporting on the Replace Yourself production vlogs, days 26 and day 27. Now the past 2 weeks Ryan Fox and I have been screenwriting. We are in the third act currently, about 1 to 2 more sessions yet and we'll have a rough draft done, so that's very good. And then on to editing, and we have some special effects that we need to work on that we've never done before, like cloning. Is something that we need to work on, as well as, working on some new rigs that we just recently bought. So there's a lot of pre-production that we have to do yet, as well as coming up with a promo. We have to find a good cliff to shoot on for both our promo and the actual film itself. There's a pretty pivotal scene that involves this cliff, and we need to find one that works for us. So lots to do. What I want to talk about this week, and a problem, not necessarily a problem, but something that we really had to pay attention to in the third act, was dialogue. Now, when you're working with different characters, obviously in real life and in movies, people speak differently. They don't all speak the same. When you're a film or a screenwriter first starting out, one of the major mistakes that I made was making all of the characters sound exactly like me. Now you read through and you're like, wow, all these characters, they speak the same. Nobody has an accent, nobody does anything differently. But that's not what it's like in the real world. In the real world, people speak differently. I work with about 10 or 15 different guys, and they all speak differently in some way, whether they curse more or curse less because of, say, religious reasons or something like that. Or we have one guy that I believe he's from Ohio originally, but he has all these like crazy phrases that he says, when he says goodbye, he says, "I'll catch you on the turnaround," which we think is pretty awesome. But it's just one example of how people speak differently. So you want to make sure, some people curse, some people are a little bit more wordy, some people are a little bit more brief. If you're writing a Clint Eastwood type of character and he's speaking a lot, that doesn't really make sense. Yeah, I know, Clint Eastwood's right back there. Excuse me. But if you're writing like, somebody that's like nervous or maybe even neurotic, you want to have them speak a little bit more so that you can, get that character trait across. So just all little tips when you're writing dialogue. Now, like I said, I had some issues with it when I first started out. When we made our feature film, I thought we did a pretty good job with it, Desolation. So I'm going to show you a quick clip here of, some back and forth between a few of the characters, just to show you, how we differentiated the characters a little bit and how they sounded a little bit different, and how even just they spoke a little bit differently based on their backgrounds. So here you go.
Whoever you are, you could stop following us. Yeah, well, fact remains, you boys are headed to that money. It's the money we all want. So I'm just going to keep on following you till you shoot me or till you get to the money. What if we split it?
Alright, so that was just a quick example of our feature film Desolation and how those characters sort of speak differently. For this particular project, the character that we're referring to is Dr. Bennett. He came in the first act, and he's sort of the scientist that invents this whole idea of time travel that propels Charlie, the catalyst that propels him back in time and into the second act. Now, after the first act, Dr. Bennett isn't in too much of the second act, and then the third act, Charlie has to go back to him for help again. So while we were writing the third act, which is where we are now, I had some difficulty remembering exactly how we made Dr. Bennett speak, so I had to go back and read his lines from the first act to remind myself that he sort of was a little bit wordier and had a larger vocabulary and things like that to just make him sound a little bit more intelligent. But he was also supposed to sound a little bit crazy because, he's obviously telling this man to, that he can send him back in time, which sounds a little shady. So, and he's not from the government or any agency like that, so he's just kind of this guy that invented it. It's pretty cool. Once you guys see it, you'll understand. But yeah, so that's sort of my lesson this week as far as dialogue goes. As always, you can check us out on our website, ttboproductions.com. If you liked what you saw from Desolation, you can find that on our YouTube channel, which is hopefully where you are watching this video right now. Or on Instagram, Facebook. We still have that contest going for the $25 Amazon gift card. I think there's like 15 to 20 days left on that. So get involved with that as well. And that's about it for this week. So I will talk to you guys next week.